at 3-1, I have to be honest. I thought it was all over. I really I couldn't believe we would have a chance to come back.
The Swiss superfan, the man that became the international meme of Euro 2020, the passion, the heartbreak. He summed up football in two perfect pictures. We have him here on the channel to discuss his story and how he became such a famous being. Probably more famous than Shaqiri's calves. The best thing to come out of Switzerland since cheese, I guess. But anyway, we open the Zoom call up. We're a bit early. We like to be prepared on this channel. And we're waiting. We're waiting. And we're waiting. Our big break in sports journalism may never turn up to this Zoom call. We sit patiently, we wait, we hope. Maybe he's never going to come. Maybe he's too big for us. Maybe we are punching way ahead of ourselves here. Maybe he's too big. Maybe he's too much of a superstar. But then, out of nowhere, the Swiss superfan appears in the Zoom call. Guys, enjoy. So Luca, welcome to the channel. How are you doing today? Thank you for coming on. How have you been?
Yeah, hi, thanks. I'm pretty good. Nice to meet you and to talk to you.
Yeah, it's good to think. I mean, how has your life changed since the Euros, pretty much?
Quite a lot, to be honest. I was really busy for the last 3 weeks with medias and trying to have a few projects regarding my buzz, So yeah, it's kind of new for me, this whole situation, but I have good friends who help me manage it, so it's okay. It's okay.
So how would you describe yourself? I mean, would you say you're a celebrity? What's it like being stopped? I can imagine you being stopped in shops or wherever you go. How's it been back at home?
A celebrity? No, I don't think so. But that's for sure that I get recognized a lot. Because I live in a small town, so everybody knows everybody. So when someone from a little town like this gets on TV all over the world, for sure you get recognized, but that's mostly a nice reactions and
Yeah.
kind messages, so I can't complain.
You're more of an ice hockey fan than a football fan. So how comes you went to the Euros? Was it more you had the ticket and you thought you'd go and see what it was like, or what happened?
No, actually, I follow the national team home and away for a few years now.
Mm.
So I went to all the qualifiers for the Euros. So I was already planning for a long time to go to Euro 2020, even though we had one of the worst schedule possible. We went to Baku, then Rome, then Baku again. You couldn't do much worse, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it was an amazing experience, and I will forever remember it.
Yeah, I mean, your life has completely changed from it. But what do you expect from Switzerland before the tournament? Did you think they'd do well? Did you think they'd get as far as they did? What was you thinking?
Honestly, I thought we were gonna do well, but I was more like prepared to play Euro 2020 in 2020. You know
Mm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
This break year with COVID made me lose a bit contact with the team, and I didn't know what to expect anymore because we played just some friendlies before the tournament, and I didn't know quite well what was the form of the players.
Mm.
But I knew we had a tough group, but I knew if we could get out of this group, we had a chance to reach the quarterfinals for the first time.
And what talk me through that game versus France? I mean, from your perspective, what was the game like? The last 5 minutes, the penalty miss. It was probably one of the most crazy games I've seen. I've watched a lot of football. I've loved football for my whole life, but that game probably top, especially into Euros, it's probably the most exciting game in history. What would you say? What would you say was going on?
Yeah, it's for me, it's a game of a lifetime. It's the kind of game as a fan you're just dreaming about them, but you never think that's gonna happen to your team once. But honestly, I had a good feeling before the game. I knew we were gonna pull out a good performance. But clear, when you play against the world champions, uh, with Benzema on top of that,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it was like the worst draw possible for us. But at the same time, we always perform better against big teams
Hmm.
uh, wa- rather than playing against small team in those knockout games. So I was pretty optimistic, but after I never thought we could came back after losing 3-1 like that.
Would you say you was confident, or more you had that hope that something special could happen? Could you feel something special was about to happen, or was it just a game when you thought 3-1 down, you thought that's it, it's over, or did you think we could get back in this? What was the atmosphere like? What was it like being there?
Um, Honestly, the atmosphere was really good. It was the first game where I felt the same feeling as I felt during the Euros in France, the World Cup in Russia. Fans, cheering, songs, etc. Because in Baku, that was really special in terms of atmosphere because the stadium was extremely empty. We were like 50 Swiss fans, 100 Swiss fans. So it was really a bit, you didn't really feel like you were at the Euros. And this game against France was like a comeback to that type of atmosphere. But after at 3-1, I have to be honest, I thought it was all over. I really I couldn't believe we would have a chance to come back,
Mm.
especially because France has the reputation to log the games really well since 2018. So I didn't think we had a chance.
And those last 5 minutes, I guess your two pictures defined those last 5 minutes. But was it much more than those two pictures? How nervous were you? That first picture of you looking devastated is really summed up probably everyone. I say the whole world was kind of with Switzerland for that game. I'm not sure anyone outside of France really wanted France to go through because everyone, especially in England, I'll talk about England soon with you, but in England, everyone wants the big teams to lose so that England have a easier in brackets route to the final. What was it like the last 5 minutes in particular for you?
Yeah, it was really a roller coaster for me because when we scored the 3-2, I thought yeah, it would be such a shame to end the tournament so close to such a big accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
So especially when we scored the offside goal, because Gavranovic already scored like maybe 2 minutes before the 3-3. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. He was like offside for 15 centimeters, and I already celebrated. I went crazy, and I thought, yes, we did it, but in fact, not. And after 2 minutes after, he really did it. So you just can't describe those moments. I mean, I don't think anything in life can produce those kind of emotions.
Football is unique in terms of. Would you say it's your best moment of your life?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. To be honest,
I would
yeah, I
say it
think
probably would be. I can imagine what it'd
yeah.
be like in terms of. I'd put that at top if I was a Switzerland fan or Swiss. I could just feel. I could imagine what that'd be like. But in terms of penalty shootout, that must have been even more nerve wracking compared to the last 5 minutes. 5 minutes is hope, but penalty shootout is awful. I assume.
Yeah, because I think that's our common point with England. I mean, we're really bad at penalty shootouts. We always kept losing them. In 2006, we lost against Ukraine. In 2016, against Poland. So yeah, I thought if we lose again, I mean, I'm never gonna watch a penalty shootout again in my life. But they scored really, they shot them really well, and then Sommer did an incredible save on Mbappe because I think many people criticize Mbappe for his shot, but Sommer's save is really not that easy to make.
Talking of England, the penalty shootouts, what was the reaction? I'm not sure how Switzerland people like English people, but what was the reaction like for England this tournament? Was there positivity behind it? Was you wanting England to lose? Was you surprised by England doing well? What was the feel around England for this tournament in Switzerland?
To be honest, it was one of the favorites for everybody. First, because they had an incredible team this year, many great talents, and I think some were unknown by the public, like Phillips. He
Mm-hmm.
was amazing. He plays for a small club for Swiss people like Leeds, but he impressed everybody. Rice too, he was pretty unknown by the people who don't really follow the Premier League. But that was one of the favorites, and I think playing at Wembley, like every game except the quarterfinals, was also for me a key factor for England to be one of the favorites.
And talking about,
But
obviously, I'm a West Ham fan, so Declan Rice. What did you make of him this tournament? Were you impressed?
yeah, because I follow the Premier League a little bit because of Liverpool, but I don't really watch that many games. But some of my friends told me, watch out for Rice. He's really impressive, because I thought one of the only how do you say that? Like one of the only weaknesses of England was the midfield,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought that was one of the areas where they didn't really have stars, you know. But I was proven wrong with Phillips and Rice, who were really really great.
Yeah, I think they even shocked some English fans. To be fair, there was a lot of
Mhm.
for the last year and a half. There's been a lot of Rice is better than Phillips. Phillips is better than Rice. You know, social media back and forth, but they work really well together. But in terms of talking about playing, watching football, do you play any Football Manager? Do you play FIFA? What do you?
Yeah, I play FIFA. Yeah, I play a lot of FIFA, even if I'm, to be honest, pretty upset by the last versions,
Yeah, yeah.
because I feel like the gameplay is not getting any better year after year.
No, no, I'm
And
not.
keep
I
lagging.
see the trailers, and I think I'm waiting for the game to come out and see it be this. It'll be the same every year, unfortunately. And have you tried Football Manager at all, or have you not bothered with that sort of type of game?
To be honest, I never played that much to Football Manager, but because it seems to really be a lot time consuming compared to FIFA. You know, FIFA you can just you know, get to your console and have a few games, and that's it. In 2 hours you're done. But in Football Manager, it takes so much time analyzing everything, and
Mm-hmm.
it's another type of approach, I think.
Yeah, definitely. You can't sit there and play it for half an hour. You have to sit
Yeah.
there for a few hours and play. I mean, if you would like to come back on the channel one day and play some Football Manager, I'd more than happily teach you some
It
Football
would be
Manager
cool.
if that's what you're into. But what would you say in terms of, you went to other games, right? This Euros, you went to all the Switzerland games.
To all the Switzerland games except the one against Italy. So I went against Wales,
Mm-hmm.
Turkey, France, and Spain.
What did you make of the group? Was you confident of going through the group there?
Not really. I thought that was a really tough group. I was just expecting more from Turkey. I was really upset by Turkey. I think they were really really poor. But Wales impressed me. I thought they were gonna finish fourth, to be honest. But they really impressed me. Great character, great team spirit, and I think it, they really deserve to go through.
And obviously, we've talked about your. I mean, this question is, what is your favorite moment at tournament? But I think we know what your favorite moment at tournament is. So apart from, we know the answer. Apart from the real favorite moment, what was another moment? Not even maybe just Switzerland. In general, the tournament. What was your favorite moment outside of Switzerland? What would you say?
Outside of Switzerland, it's really tough, because I think it was a really, really eventful Euros compared to the last ones. Yeah, a moment that will stick with me is probably when Chiellini, you know, grabbed Saka's neck, because it's so representative of Italian grinta, you know, this kind of defensive awareness in Italy. Yeah, I just found it so funny.
It was the lack of attempt to get the ball. He just knew
Yeah,
he had
exactly.
to just grab him anywhere on the body. He had to grab him. It could have been anywhere, but he grabs him by the neck, and it kind of became, you and Chiellini are the two memes of the tournament. You're in stature with a Euros winner for this tournament. But I have some questions from my viewers that I'd like to ask you. Some of them are strange, some of them are normal. But how has your life changed since the Euros?
So it changed quite much. I mean, yeah, I still kept my old life, some elements of my whole life. I still have the same job, etc. But this experience made me aware of some opportunities I could grab, especially because I was already involved in sport journalism. before this happened. So if I can use that as a booster, if I can say, for some of my projects, for sure I would like it. And I am also trying to help charities that helps youth and sport in Switzerland. So I have a few projects around this buzz that takes me quite a lot of time. I have to say so. Yeah. But one thing I would like to develop is like commentating, because I really like to yeah, like football commentator like Martin Taylor. That would have been my dream job. So maybe if I can do that for the Swiss national team, maybe on Twitch, or I don't know. I am thinking about it right now, but that would really be amazing.
Another question from a viewer is, what happened to your hat? The hat was there in the first picture. In the second picture, your hat was gone. Did you lose the hat? Is it still there?
Fortunately, I didn't lose it, because that's my lucky charm for the game. So I really need it. But when I removed my shirt, obviously it fell off. So yeah, but I just find it again a few moments later, fortunately. So
So it wasn't a hat off, shirt off. It was just a straight shirt off, and
yeah, exactly.
the hat goes flying with it. Okay, okay. And another question: what was your phone like on the way home on the game? I guess everyone you knew probably messaged you saying you're on TV, you're on TV.
Actually, when I didn't really look on my phone before I went to the hotel, because I didn't have data in Romania. So when I arrived at the hotel, it was I had like 1,000 WhatsApps. It was really madness. It's where I realized that really went crazy, and my life was a bit changing from that point.
Who's your favorite footballer? Do you have one in particular? Maybe Swiss, let's say Swiss player and general favorite player as well.
Okay, ever, it's really easy. It's Steven Gerrard. And Swiss player, I would probably say Alexander Frey. He played for Dortmund, and yeah, he was probably the best striker I ever knew with the national team. So that probably would be the two.
And what about current players? What are your favorite current players?
Current players.
Shaqiri, because Liverpool link with Switzerland, or
Shaqiri, yeah, of course, because he scored so many important goals for us, and he's so gifted. But I think he should leave Liverpool now, because it makes more harm than good for his career to just be on the bench for the whole season. So I think he should find another club. But
are you not a fan of Messi or Ronaldo? Who do you prefer out of those two?
No, I mean,
or are you more of a fan of a sort of a smaller player, someone that's not too popular?
Yeah, exactly, because those big stars like Messi and Ronaldo, yeah, I think that the fans of those players are more like supporting the players and the team. And for me, football is a team game. So that's why I don't really like, for example, the Ballon d'Or. It's not really something I appreciate, because for me, it's not that important. A player should prefer to win the World Cup or the Euros rather than the Ballon d'Or.
One of the final questions, you may not be able to answer this, but what is your favorite meme of yourself? So obviously you've been photoshopped into a lot of pictures or scenarios. What would you say your favorites are?
It might sound funny, but I didn't really look at so many of them, because I didn't really have so much time to do so. But one that made me laugh is like on the first one I'm like normal, and on the second one I'm like Super Saiyan.
Yeah, the Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z. So I always like Dragon Ball Z, so it made me laugh. That's probably my favorite.
But it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the channel. Where can we find you on Instagram, Twitter, socials, your projects? Where can we find you online?
So online, I have my Instagram account, so it's the Swiss Superfan. And so yeah, if you can go on the page and support our project to raise money for this foundation in Switzerland, it would be really amazing. And yeah, I hope that I can make some of my other projects come true in the next few months. It will be amazing.